Hello friends, my name is Jess and welcome back to my channel, Books Past Bedtime. Today we're going to be doing my May Bookish Monthly Reset. I haven't done one of these in a while and I wanted to kind of get back into it because I think it's a fun way to do like a TBR, kind of talk about goals, where I am, do some planning. I love watching these kinds of videos, so I want to continue making them. So that's what we're doing today in this video. I don't really have a lot to wrap up from April because I didn't really do a lot of planning in April. I can kind of show you my reading spreadsheet. I just spent some time updating that because it's too tedious to do on camera. And then we can look at my monthly calendar, do some content planning. I have most of the month laid out, but I do have a few things I can add. We can talk about my goals and my TBR for May, and then I will go through kind of planning my week together. I thought that would be kind of fun. I haven't time blocked on my Google Calendar yet. That's kind of how I stay productive throughout the week. I thought that would be kind of fun to take you through how I plan to get things done. So that's the plan for this video. Let's just hop right into it. All right, so the first thing we can look at here is my reading spreadsheet. This is how I track all of the books that I'm reading. I do use Goodreads and Storygraph as well, but I also keep this personal dashboard just because I like the graphs it outputs, and I think it's interesting to keep track of things this way. As you can see, I did just update everything I read in April, so that's all in here. I had a pretty decent reading month in April in terms of quantity. The quality wasn't so great. As you can see, there's quite a few like DNFs in here and 1 stars and just things that I didn't love, but that's okay. I just kind of went on like a Kindle Unlimited bender in April, and that's kind of why I wanted to make this video. I want to be more intentional with my reading in May and actually like read stuff that I'm gonna love instead of just trash. So that's kind of the plan here. I haven't yet read anything in May, even though it's a few days into May. I've started some things, but we can talk about that when we talk about my TBR. What else would be interesting to show you? This is Allie from Hardback Hoarder's reading spreadsheet. I use her reading spreadsheet every single year. I will link it down below if you're interested. You can buy it on Etsy. It's only a couple dollars, and she puts so much work into it. I went in and did my own customized colors. I think I bought the black and white version and then just went in and did my own colors because I wanted it to be pastel rainbow and she didn't have that option because that's pretty specific. But there's so many cool like tracking features on here. I just love to see everything. I love this like map so you can see what stuff you're reading from. There's this little bookshelf page where you can see like at a glance how many like physical, audiobook, ebooks you're reading. I'm a big ebook gal, as you can see. Here are my April monthly stats. We can kind of go through this. So I did read 15 books in April. I read 3,314 pages and I listened to 28 hours of audiobooks. This is real time. I used to track like how long the audiobook was, but this is like to the best of my ability how long I actually spent listening to audiobooks, so that's pretty good. Yeah, my average rating was a 3.3 and I had 2 DNFs in April. Actually, I feel like I have 3. Like, why is that not? There we go. That's why. Hadn't checked a box. I mostly read romance, as you can see here. Literally all but one. Oh, that's novel. Okay, here's the ebook down here. 11 of the 14 books were ebooks. So yeah, that's my Kindle Unlimited vendor for you. Then there's this cool stuff like shortest book, longest book, the years that you read from. I've read a lot of like recent stuff, countries again. I don't know. Pretty cool stuff. So that is my reading spreadsheet. It's already up to date, but I do take a little bit of time. Usually I don't update this during the month. Usually I take a little bit of time at the beginning or end of the like new month to update it. So that's what I did this morning. Okay. And so since that's up to date, my Goodreads is up to date, I've pretty much like wrapped up my month because I didn't really have a lot of like goals or anything to check off. So let's just dive right into talking about May. I started off the year very gung-ho. I really thought that I could have like a personal best reading year this year. And 2024 has just kind of not been my year. So I'm kind of reeling that energy back in a little bit. I really still somehow would love to complete my reading goal of 200 books a year. That would be a personal best for me. I think my current personal best is 186. So in order to meet that goal, I do have to read like about 20 books a month until the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I am going to kind of set a loose reading goal of trying to get 20 books in this month. Is that realistic? Probably not, but I would rather strive for a bigger goal and like get close and not quite there instead of just like giving up already. Like, I feel like there's still enough time. The year is still young. I can still make this goal. So yeah, I'm gonna try and read 20 books, but I'm not really gonna put any other limits on it. I would kind of like to do the Buzzwordathon challenge. Let me look at what it is this month. So I did January, February, and March. I don't think I did. Oh, I probably did something that fits for April because that one was easy. It was anything related to the planet. So I'm gonna say I'm caught up. But in May, the buzzword is every. So you have to read a book that includes the word every, or like everything, everyone, everybody. On my current TBR, I don't have a book that includes the word every. So that would be something that I'll have to read outside of my TBR. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I would like to do that. So I'm going to put that on my goal list. And then I think I'm going to leave my reading goals at that. I don't want to get too crazy. Like at the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to read a classic a month, a nonfiction a month, a 500 plus page book a month. It's too much. It's too much for me. I have too much going on. I just can't commit to that. So I'm going to keep my reading goals at those two. Other like life goals, I really want to be consistent on YouTube this month because I've been trying to do that forever, but I want to make a true effort to be consistent on YouTube. I have a lot of stuff filmed. I just need to sit down and edit it. So I think that if I just like commit to a few hours a week of working on it, I really can do this goal. So I'm going to add that to the list. And then we are also, I would really like to try posting on like TikTok and Instagram reels this month. I don't know, like I'm not going to set like a number, but I would like to try and post a couple videos, like short form content this month, and just see kind of how it does, like if it's helpful for like converting people to my channel. Flops, like I'm just kind of interested in seeing like what it does. I'm very late to the short form content train, but better late than never, right? So that is a goal of mine this month, is to kind of try and give that a go. I have a couple ideas that I'm kind of excited about, so yeah, that's the plan for that. And I think those are the only goals that I'm going to set for myself this month. Yeah. So let's go ahead and hop into my TBR for May. I hope I haven't been saying March. Have I been saying March? Hopefully not. Okay, to start off, I have 2 books that I'm like currently actively reading. I have a lot of books that I'm currently reading on my Goodreads shelf, but we're not talking about that right now. So I'm actively currently reading Raven Song by TJ Klune. This is the second book in the Green Creek series, which is TJ Klune's like a werewolf Omegaverse kind of series. Each is a standalone romance, but the series has one larger like overarching plot. So I'm currently reading the second one, really enjoying it and planning to finish it this month. I'm also currently reading Ace by Angela Chen. This is like the nonfiction book I've been working on. I think I have like 100 pages left of it. I think I'm like a little over halfway through. So I definitely think that I can knock this out this month. This one's not like super high up on the priority list. I'm just kind of picking it up when I'm like in the mood, have time for it. And it's basically a nonfiction book about asexuality. Angela Chen presents all of the most like recent relevant research. She also includes like anecdotal evidence, stories from other people, interviews, things like that. Basically just a good introduction, everything we know about asexuality currently. So it's so far a really good read. I'm really enjoying it, and it's definitely something I would recommend if you're interested. Okay, and then I have a couple categories. So they're all for videos that I'm either planning to do this month or planning to do in the future. So the first few books are for a like list video that I've been reading for a very long time that I am going to get out this month. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna come out at the end of the month. So the first book for that is The Romantic Agenda by Claire Kahn. This is a contemporary romance about a group of friends who like go on this island vacation together, and there's kind of like a love square going on. Like it says, Joy's in love with Malcolm, Malcolm wants to date Summer, Summer's in love with Love, and Fox is Summer's ex-boyfriend. So there's just like a bunch of things going on. Joy, our main character, is also asexual, which is another big reason why I want to read this book. We don't get enough representation for asexuality in literature, so I'm super excited to pick this one up. It's like a good time to read it because we're like getting into the summer vibes, you know, so excited about that. It's from Darian too. Hi Darian, if you're watching this. I'm excited to finally read this book. Next on my list is Really Beloved by Susie Drummond. This is a queer contemporary romance. I think it might read more like chick lit than romance is what I've kind of heard about it. I think we're basically following Amy, who is a baker, and I think she does a lot of work for like weddings and stuff, and she falls for Charlie, who is the new lesbian engineer in town. So, but I think the problem is that Amy is like semi-closeted or something, so there's that kind of conflict going on. I've heard kind of middling things about this book, but I'm excited to like see what I think about it, and I think if I go in kind of like with mid expectations, I might enjoy myself more, you know? So, planning to read this month. Also planning to finally get, tabs are falling out. Anyway, planning to finally get to A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall this month. I did end up starting this like earlier in the year because I took it to Hawaii with me, and then I just like read one day on the beach and then didn't pick it up again. I have just been very like unfocused in my reading this year. Like I've started so many books and they're just sitting on my currently reading. So I might restart this just to get the full experience. I do feel like I kind of remember what happened though, so I don't know, I might just continue. Basically, this is a Regency romance and our main character is trans and the love interest is her best friend, but her best friend thinks that she died. He doesn't know her as the trans woman she truly is. He just knows her prior to her transition. And like he has spent so many years grieving her death, and they come back into contact. He like doesn't know who she truly is, but then they fall in love. So I'm not quite sure like how it's all gonna go down. I read 75 pages of this so far and it was really good. I love Alexis Hall's writing. So funny, so witty, so clever, and in this context so beautiful. Like this is more of a serious book than Alexis Hall usually writes, and I think it was like working really well. So I'm super excited to finally read this one. I feel like I've been putting it off too because I've had such like high expectations for it and know that or just like feel in my soul that I'm gonna love it, but then I'm like also afraid to pick it up and not like it as much as I think I'm going to. So that's kind of been why I've been back and forth about this one, but I'm so excited to finally read it, and I hope that it's wonderful and lovely. I'm sure it will be. Also included in this subcategory is Change of Heart by Claire Lydon. This is a fake dating lesbian romance. So Erin hires a fake date, like an escort, for her parents' anniversary party. She gets more than she bargained for because Steph is not typically an escort, but she is an actor. And of course, as we all know, with fake romances, they always turn into real romances. So I believe that's what's going to happen in this one. I have also started this one. I have the audio through, I think it was free, like through Kindle Unlimited, an Audible partnership thing. So I'm listening to it on there, and the audiobook is good so far. It sounds like it's going to be fun. I'm having a good time thus far. So I'm also planning to read Her Countess to Cherish by Jane Walsh. Okay, this is a queer Regency romance between a woman and a non-binary character, and there are, I think, two major problems in this book. Our main character, Beatrice, gets married at the beginning of this book to clear her family's debts, for all intents and purposes taken. And then our other character, who sometimes goes as George and sometimes goes as Gina, also is like living this secret Hannah Montana life due to the time and the circumstances. So they also like could marry Beatrice as George, but don't know if that will be living true to themselves by having to always be George, you know, because they are non-binary, their gender is fluid. So that is a conflict within the confines of the time period. I've also started this one. The writing is not super good, but the story seems like it might turn out to be interesting. I do really like George / Gina's character. I think they're written really well. Beatrice is kind of written very like one-dimensional as of now, so I'm interested to see like how the romance blossoms because she's kind of annoying. So I think it'll be good. I'm interested in reading it, and it's a super short book, so planning to check this one off the list this month. Next on my list is Going Public by Hudson Lin. This is an MLM romance between two characters who work together. I think assistant and boss and employee, something like that. I don't know much more about it. It has kind of low ratings, so I'm a little scared to read it. That's why this is one of the last books that I've read for this video, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised and it will actually be good. And then last but not least for this particular video is Subtle Blood by KJ Charles. This is the third book in the Will Darling Adventures series, which I had to read the entire series for this video, so that's why this one is also last. I have enjoyed the beginning of this series. It basically is kind of like, it's almost like spy vibes, like mystery with a side of an MLM romance. Like, and each book kind of has been like solving an individual mystery and kind of having like a will they won't they romance between our main character Will Darling and Kim Secretarian. And this is also historical, so there's also that element of like they're not really allowed to be together. It's like a crime. So this will be the conclusion to the series, and we'll finally get to see if the two end up together and hopefully like solve the end mystery. I've been listening to these on audio and they have been good audiobooks, but I kind of lost my access to Hoopla, so I don't know how I'm gonna listen to this next one, but maybe I can figure that out. I need to go get a library card for my new county is what I need to do, but so many things to do, so little time. Alright, so that is that subcategory of the TBR. My next subcategory is like new releases that I'm interested in reading, and I do think that I'm gonna try and do a reading, like a new releases reading vlog. I have a lot of these on NetGalley, so I'm also trying to like clear them out of my NetGalley account so I can have a decent score. So let's go over what those are really quick. Alright, the first of which came out in March, I believe, is Infinity Alchemist by Case and Calendar. This actually has a really low rating on Goodreads. It's 3.5. It only has 1,000 ratings, so I guess that could be why as well, but that makes me sad because I love Case and Calendar. Like, I've loved the books that I've read by them in the past. So this is a YA fantasy novel. Our main character, Ash, isn't allowed to practice alchemy for some reason, so he's doing it in secret, but then that secret is discovered by this other character named Ramsey, who goes to this, like, alchemy college. They team up to try and, like, find this sacred text that will give the reader extraordinary power. And then I think they have like some kind of romance. It says it features trans, queer, and polyamorous characters of color, which very much interests me. So I don't know, like I was really surprised at how low the average rating is, so that's kind of scared me, but I think it sounds really good, so I really want to give this one a try. Next I have At Her Service by Amy Spalding, which is the second in a series. I think they're just like companion series though, so I think it's okay if I read them out of order because I don't have the first on NetGalley. This is a WLW contemporary romance. I don't really understand the description. I think that the two meet on a dating app, but then also know each other in real life. But it doesn't really sound like the anonymous like you've got mail trope though. It could be. I don't know. This is a contemporary WLW romance with some kind of dating app happening in it. And I think that the girl that our main character meets on the dating app is actually one of the creators of the dating app. So then I think our main character believes that her connection with her might be fake. Something of that nature, I believe, is what's going on and is the main conflict. So this one came out in February. I'm also interested in reading Red Sight by Meredith Mooring. This is a fantasy novel about a main character who is hard of seeing, who is blind, but she has the power to manipulate space-time, although she is the weakest in her order, and so she's kind of been outcast. But then I think that there's some kind of like heist thing that happens. This is a sci-fi, I don't think I mentioned that. And I believe it also has a lesbian romance in it, so this sounds very good to me, very unique, and I'm very interested in picking this one up this month. I also have The Perfect Guy Doesn't Exist by Sophie Gonzalez on NetGalley, and the description of this one says, a fanfic writer brings her favorite TV character to life in this friends to enemies to lovers novel. Okay. And so basically once Ivy writes this fanfic, brings this fanfic character to life, he's like causing havoc, and so she has to team up with her best friends and somebody named Mac, who is like kind of mysterious in the description, but who is, I think, the main romantic love interest in this story. And it's WLW, but I think it's on the younger side of YA, so I think it's just supposed to be like a cute, fun rom-com. So I'm very interested in this. I think it looks really cute, and I like the idea of it incorporating like fanfic and fandom. I grew up with that, so any book that kind of has that element into it, I'm very like interested in. And I have read Sophie Gonzalez in the past and really enjoyed her stories, so I'm excited for this one. I'm also hoping to pick up Otherworldly by F.T. Lukens this month. F.T. Lukens, I've read all of their previous books and I feel like they've just been getting better and better, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. I think that this is the fourth one. Yes, fourth one that I will have read, so I'm very excited. So F.T. Lukens' other books, including this one, have all been like YA fantasy. And this one sounds like it's kind of like fantasy and paranormal. And our main character is non-binary, and they're stuck in this world where it's like been a never-ending winter, and they're trying to figure out like what the hell is going on. The two main characters make some kind of deal and like fall in love, you know. as one does. So I am very excited to read this one. Like I said, I have really enjoyed F.T. Lukens. This one just came out last month in April, so definitely really highly anticipating this one. I think I'm like probably most excited for this one. I also was lucky enough to get Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings on NetGalley, so I'm very excited to pick this one up. It also just came out last April, and look at this cover. Isn't this the most beautiful cover you've ever seen? Like, I am so obsessed with it. It is a sapphic opposites attract romance, and it is adult, and it's been getting good reviews, so I'm very excited about this one. I really think that I'm gonna love this one. And then last but not least, I have Playing for Keeps by Jennifer Dugan on NetGalley. This one just came out last month as well, like literally at the end of the month, April 30th, yeah. This is a YA sapphic romance starring a baseball pitcher and a student umpire who are definitely not supposed to fall for one another. So this sounds like a sports romance, lesbian, on the same team maybe, but the rules state that players and umpires are prohibited from dating. Okay, so I guess an ump is not on your team, you know. I do love sports romance, so I'm really excited for this one. I think it sounds super cute. Jennifer Dugan has kind of been like hit or miss for me, so I'm kind of interested to see what I'm gonna think about this one, but I do definitely want to check it out, and I'm sure it'll be a quick read either way, so very excited for that one. Okay, and then my last category of books is I'm currently filming this video where I'm like reading my physical TBR and doing that concept of like reading until you get a 5-star book. Except I've been doing it for like months and haven't gotten a 5-star book. The most recent one I pulled was Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Vasherdoust. I think I'm 50 pages into it. I honestly might have to start over though because I did start this book a while ago. But since this video has been in the drafts for so long, I really would like to make some progress on it this month if I could. So this book is on the list to do so. This is a sapphic fantasy YA story about this girl who I think like is poisonous to anyone she touches or something. I think that's what this is about. It was good so far when I started it. Like I said, though, I think I'm gonna just restart it and then hopefully continue with that video. So that was not 20 books, that was 17, I think, so I'm leaving a couple open to either continue with this video or mood read or something. That's the plan. So that's my May TBR. Hopefully I will make some good progress, get some of these books knocked out. All right, now that we've taken care of all of that, let's go back onto the computer and we will do some planning for the upcoming month. Okay, so this is my May calendar. As you can see, I've kind of already planned out what I'm doing. It is the 6th. We're a little too far into the month, but that's okay. I did post this video on Friday, thankfully, my little like wrap-up video. If you haven't, you can check it out up there. Today, my May Bookish Monthly Reset was supposed to go up. It might go up tomorrow. Depends. It is the morning, so I might be able to get it out at a decent hour tonight, but we will see. And then oh, and as you can see, I'm trying to post videos on Mondays and Fridays. I'm kind of doing sit-down videos on Monday and vlogs on Friday is kind of what I'm like roughly planning to do, just to kind of help me like plan content more so than like anything specific. I hope that that person mowing the grass is not annoying to you guys. Hope you can't hear it. So today, my monthly reset's supposed to go up. Next Friday is a weekly reading vlog that I already have filmed. I already have filmed this video, built and organized my new home library, just have to edit it. And I also have this weekly vlog filmed. Sorry that this is like not real time of vlogs, but I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. And then I have this video filmed. If you liked this popular book talk book, read this underrated queer book. I already have that written, I just have to film it. I do have this vlog here. This vlog ends on if I find a 5-star read. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to get that out at that time because, you know, I can't control when I get a 5-star read. So honestly, I think this is like my little holding area down here. I think that I'm going to instead do my like new releases reading vlog on that day. And that was all those books that I listed for my TBR. I'll try and read them for that. And then on the 27th, I have that queer romance list video gonna go up. And then on the 31st, I will post my June Bookish Reset. So that's my content calendar. I'm gonna kind of move my holding area of videos over so you can kind of see better what's going on. So that's gonna be my plan for the month of May. Hopefully I can get that done. To give us the best chance of getting these things done, let's talk about my... Okay, why do you have to mow right outside my fucking window? Can you go away, please? Okay. So then once I have my like monthly content calendar set up, I also do make a like monthly to-do list. I find that because I have such an inconsistent work schedule that making like a monthly list is the easiest way for me to do things. Because then I have kind of a broader span of time that I can get things done in. I don't just have to like do everything in one day, if that makes sense. So this is what it looks like. I have a recurring tasks list, which my lovely therapist recommended I do, and I feel like it works very well. And I have these split up into monthly tasks, bi-weekly tasks, and weekly tasks. And I only have 3 weeks because, you know, 1 week is going to be like lazy or I'm traveling or something. So these are just basically chores and things that I like won't do unless I'm told to do them by something. So this is how I do that. And I actually did that today. So, all right. And then after the recurring tasks, I list my like non-recurring tasks. And these are things that are just like things that I need to do this month, like random, I have personal and work things. And then I also have a list for my YouTube. And these are all the videos that were in the content calendar that we just looked at. And I break them down into like filming, planning, editing, and uploading, and doing the thumbnail, because that's usually how they get broken up, because I usually don't film and edit in the same days. So even though I'm going to try and do that today. But yeah, that's basically what I work with. And then I take those tasks kind of on a weekly basis. And I've been time blocking recently in my Google Calendar, and that's been working well for me. Even if I don't do everything like on the day that I say that I'm going to, it helps to like kind of know that it's possible to get the things done in the week that I want to. And even if like I plan to do something Monday and I end up doing it Tuesday, it's not the end of the world. And that's kind of why I like doing it on Google Calendar as well, because things are movable. I can move them around, and usually like midweek I'll go in and readjust the end of the week based on like what I've accomplished so far that week. Usually I'm behind because I'm lazy. But yeah, so let me turn my calendars back on. So I have appointment, birthdays, exercise. I have everything split up into separate calendars so I can turn them on and off. Obviously I don't have anything in here right now. Oh. Usually at the beginning of the month when I get my work schedule, I'll put that into Google Calendar so I have those big blocks to work with, because, you know, that's the main part of my week is my full-time job, and that's what's in gray. And then other like random, usually if something like already has a set time, like an appointment or a flight or something, I will already have that in my calendar. And so this is like our starting place to time block. So let's go ahead and do that right now. We're doing a filming block. And I usually put that under my, whoa, nope, that's production calendar. And so I probably will film 12:30. And then usually I put my tasks over top of my time blocks. I just like how that looks and I like how that works. So we're filming the reset, and then I'm going to film vlog outro after this. And then I'm also going to film a TikTok. So that's kind of how I like to time block like that. After this, I do love to have emojis on my calendar because I think it's cute. So even though I'm not going to eat salad, I'm probably going to eat leftover Olive Garden for lunch. We're going to put this in here. I don't always time block my meals, but I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. And then we are also going to go grocery shopping today. Oh, it probably won't take that long, but you know. Then I also need to meal prep and make dinner later tonight. So that's probably what I'm gonna do when I get home from grocery shopping, and then we'll have dinner. So when am I gonna edit this video? See what I mean? This helps me like be realistic about what I'm doing with my life. Maybe I'll be able to do it tonight and I can just post it tomorrow. I also need to pack for a trip. I already don't want to do this. Okay, let's keep going. Tomorrow, I'm not planning anything because I swear to God, I'm about to kill this man. Okay, I kind of did that off camera since the freaking weed whacker guy was outside. This is kind of how I'm going to lay out my week for now. As you can see, this is how I'm going to get everything done that I want to get done that's like on the calendar need to be done sort of thing. It's going to be kind of busy. I don't know if I'm going to get everything done that I want to, but I'm going to try my hardest. And it's kind of hard, like when I'm working. I do like to have like 3 exercise blocks a week. As you can see, I only fit in 2 this week. It's just been kind of busy because I was visiting friends this weekend, and then my mom is going to come visit me for Mother's Day like this coming weekend. So I don't want to like fill that up because I don't know what we're going to be doing. But like I will kind of Disneyland will be walking around, so I will get some like cardio in that day, some steps. I'm not going to be like sedentary. And then I'm sure we'll be doing like a lot of walking through New York and stuff on the weekend. So I'm not super worried about that. I would kind of try and get like a pull day in at some point, like back and biceps and stuff. But if that doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. I'll just do 3 next week. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's going to be a busy week, as you can see, but I do kind of just like to kind of roughly work out what I think I'm going to be able to get done throughout the week by doing this time blocking method. I would recommend, and I love like doing the time blocks and then using Google Tasks and stacking them on top to actually see like what I'm going to be doing in those blocks, as well as like making sure I have enough time, you know? Does that make sense? Okay, so that was my May monthly reset. Thank you so much for watching this video and hanging out with me. I really appreciate you being here. Let me know if you like this style of video, and also let me know in the comments down below what you're planning to read this month. I would love to know. Or if you've read any of the books that I'm planning to read and what you thought of them. I will also have the books that I talked about linked down below if you're interested in any of them. And I'll also link Allie's reading spreadsheet if you're interested in purchasing that as well. If you would like to follow me on any social media, that's in the description as always. And I think that is all I have to say. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe and like it. And I will see you in the next one.